and we are about 7 minutes away from the time of iftar in Johannesburg. And it's time now to go across to our respected, our honorable ulama to provide us with nasiha and the dua in the build up to iftar in Johannesburg, which is in about 6 or 7 minutes' time. And right now, we're going across to be joined by Moulana Ayub Mokoena, who is with the Bekkersdal Masjid at MasjiduRrahmaan and also part of the Bekkersdal Muslim Association. Moulana Ayub Mokoena, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, my brother. Jazakumullah for having me.
I mean, Jazakallah to you as well. And obviously, we look at people like yourselves to provide us with the nasiha, with advices, and with the inspiration in this month of Ramadan. And at a Mubarak time, a time when we are about to break our fast here in Johannesburg as well. So, inshallah, Maulana, the platform is all yours. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Looking forward to your nasiha and then a dua, inshallah, and that will take us through to iftar. Jazakallah.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala ashraf al-anbiya wal mursalin Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam wa ala alihi wa man tabi'ahu ila yawmiddin. Amma ba'd. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran in Surah Tawbah verse number 6, Zakah expenditures are only for the poor and for the needy and for those employed for it, and for bringing hearts together for Islam, and for freeing captives or slaves, and for those in debt, and for the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and for the stranded traveler, and the obligation imposed by Allah ta'ala, and Allah is all-knowing and wise. We thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having given us the opportunity to fast in the month of Ramadan. As such, we thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for having blessed us with provision, so much so we are in a position to can give zakah. Yet, I, for one, who's from a locality where we are led by our own self, or we have leaders from our own communities, I find that there is a lot of injustice happening regarding zakat. And as such, I would like to give nasiha around this matter, because at times I feel that even the reward of the one who's giving is spoiled, because they intend for something and what reaches us on the ground is completely another thing. Zakat is a pillar of Islam. It's not optional. It is on the same rank of tax. Yes, tax is more, zakat is less, but it has more blessings. And the conditions of tax and zakat are not the same, because you can even have some khamar and alcohol and stuff like that, whereas you cannot give zakat from such proceeds. So when you look at tax, it can go to an extent of building schools, prisons, hospitals, and even employ the people who are working there. But zakat is not achieving any of that. We know that you cannot use zakat to build the same institutions that I've mentioned, but you can give lillah and sadaqah to build such things. But with zakat, you can capacitate and build the poor Muslims, economically speaking. So it is because it is aimed at easing the financial burdens of poor Muslim communities, but it achieves the opposite because of how it is done. You are a zakat giver, you are someone who zakat is obligatory upon. You take that zakat and you give to an ex-organization that deals with zakat. And when you give them, you feel that you have discharged what is obligatory upon you, and then the rest, they will do it. And alhamdulillah, they will take a portion of the money and go to a certain store, which belongs to a certain someone, and they can spend even 200,000 at that store, buying fish oil only. And that person has benefited directly from the process of zakat. The store owner has benefited from the process of zakat. And now it has been converted into food. And now from the food, this is what the people on the ground and the poor communities are receiving. Food only. Whereas the first beneficiary from zakat got cash, 200,000 injected into their business directly, they become economically sustainable, they become economically viable. And when they take out that, you the one who could benefit as a poor person, you're only getting something that you will eat with the mouth and take it out in the toilet. And this is supposed to capacitate you. This is supposed to alleviate your plight. So it's not really achieving what it does, unless for the same community that gives the same zakat. Zakat is best utilized, or it benefits that community because they can see the monetary value of it. But we can see only the stomach value of it, which is also an insult. That in the 11 months that I'm not fasting, you're not focusing your zakat on food so that it can relieve me from poverty. But in the months that I'm supposed to be fasting, you think that I would need zakat so that in food, so that it can alleviate my plight. Yet Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the people he mentioned, he mentions people like a traveler. He mentions people who are orphans. So we need to understand that if I were to be given, I'm a traveling person and I'm stranded in a country and I need assistance and 10,000 worth of food hampers, how are they going to help me move from the point that I'm stranded to the next point? We have a boy who's an orphan. He needs this zakat so that he can be stopped from committing crime or engaging into other things, because he has needs more than food. But he has to get what? He has to get food. Everyone gets food. You know, about 6 years ago, Minaxa, an organization which represents Muazzins and Imams, at that time it said zakat was worth 800 million in South Africa. I'm well confident that it is over 1 billion now. But can you say that this is the zakat that you can see its impact in the community? It achieves the opposite, because when it comes to the townships, it only experiences peace whereby an imam is being installed from the suburb who is there to manage the community. But where there is bona fide leaders in our communities, like my community of Bekkersdal, it brings fitna, because it will bring back all those people who never cared about Islam. But at the time of these hampers, they come to the masjid. When you say no, you don't get, this creates division in the community. This breeds enmity in the community. And then eventually we're not seeing eye to eye in our communities, because these hampers, they hamper our iman. And it is brought to us without our own input. Imagine you can determine from your own comfort of a suburb that this one needs food all the time. I don't have to even give an input on that. Yet I'm the one who's needy, and I'm the one who's most well-versed with my needs. But I'm not even considered and given any consultation. And then it is another form of maintaining hierarchy of racism. Because an Arab will never directly trust a black person or an indigenous South African with their zakat. And an Indian will never do that as well. They would rather go to the foreign black Muslim, because the indigenous South African is the last in the chain. So, this is something that I would like you to know, that if you are discharging your zakat, you need to understand that also we, the ones who are receiving it, have to be happy because it fulfills our needs, not because it is sending us to the toilet. And we want to see the monetary benefit. If you look at the hampers that come to Bekkersdal, maybe they are worth 200,000 or 300,000 each and every year. We have aspirations for our communities. We know how better to use that money, but we are not fit according to other people. So, being conscious of the time of iftar as well, I would like to say, I give nasiha to the givers of zakat that it's not compulsory for you to give zakat to an organization. Yet it's compulsory for you to discharge your zakat. And there are people in leadership who knows the need of their communities. If they were to be consulted, then your zakat, it will sustain the communities, it will achieve economic sustainability, and it will go a long way towards achieving your reward. I hope that one day Salam Media will invite me so that I can speak and expound on this matter. But for now, inshallah, I will end up there and I will proceed to the dua, inshallah. Ya Allah, indeed, we are weak. You are the strongest. We are faulty, Ya Rabbal Alameen. Ya Allah, please grant us your wisdom. grant us your patience, grant us your justice, and accept from us whatever we have done in the past days of Ramadan, from our salah, from our fasting, from whatever good deeds we have done. Ya Allah, please accept from us and not never reject from us. And forgive us our shortcomings for whatever we have committed in the past days of Ramadan. And grant us steadfastness to can finish the month of Ramadan at the height of our iman. And let this Ramadan be a foundation for our unity as Muslims, for our success in this dunya and the akhirah as well. Ya Rabbal Alameen, please unite our hearts, free those communities that are poor and reach them, Ya Rabbal Alameen. And eventually, Ya Rabbal Alameen, please grant hidayah to all the people in our country so that this country one day can be a country of Muslims. وصلى الله على سيدنا ومولانا محمد برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين آمين يا رب العالمين.